Just let us know when you can see us, Daryl. Holding really stable. Really, really stable. Great. Yeah, our connection's holding really stable actually. It's not hitting that poor connection again, which is nice. So far, really stable. Carl?
Yeah.
So far, really stable. Oh, the second I looked away, it said poor connection, but now it's back. Oh, poor connection. Well, Carl, do you want to just kind of even just talk about what you're doing in the pre-stream?
Okay, so
We're pre-stream still, so
yeah, so we're in pre-stream. Welcome to the pre-stream. Anybody who's on a little bit early, I'm going to mix this up a little bit more today. Going to take a little bit of a look at hitches. So the E2 Fastway or E2 by Fastway, and the Pro Series trunnion hitch with the chains. So we're going to do just a quick overview of these two hitches. People ask about them a lot, and there's something I've forgotten, so I'm going to run and grab that upstairs. And while I do that, Harrison's just going to keep spinning in the showroom.
no, dizzy.
Something.
So if there's anyone here with us, feel free to shoot us any questions while we're here. Dustin's present with us today in the chat. And also Carl will answer your questions after we do the orientation.
Hey, how are we doing, actually?
Good, it's 3:29.
3:29.
$3:30 now. Maybe silence your
3:30.
phone there before we just start here.
I don't know where the time goes these days.
Oh, it's warm out here today, huh?
Yeah.
It's 27 degrees, I think I saw on my phone earlier.
Wow.
Let's take a look.
Yeah, I can feel it. Well, it's not sweating too much.
At
But
29. For those of you watching, you can let us know.
keep Jim Norman happy that I'm not sweating too much, looking too out of shape. So Beth Martin is on Facebook there, just for Daryl, looking for someone to chat to get some information. Kind of makes me think at some point we're going to have to open up a live chat sort of area on the website, or even be more interactive on a daily basis or on an instant basis in Facebook. But okay, a B today in the 17B has everything and more than the 17A has in place. But before we get going on that, I'm going to look at the Pro Series and the E2 Hitch by Fastway, including, as well as that, the sort of hitching, maybe the hitching mechanism that's on the Escape trailer. A lot of people get concerned about hitches, so I'm going to go through a couple of things here. First of all, I'm going to start off with the Pro Series hitch. So this is the Pro Series hitch. Here's pretty much all the pieces that come with it. There are some great reviews of this hitch on the e-trailer website or the eTrailer YouTube page, and they go through a lot of the features of this particular hitch. So this particular hitch does not come from us with a ball on it, so you'd have to have your own ball, and we require a 2-inch ball. We'll talk about that when we go and have a look over here at the actual assembly. This part of the assembly. This is the Pro Series is a weight distribution hitch only. It does not provide sway control, and the weight distribution, as we know, essentially load balances between the trailer and the vehicle. So it will seek to distribute the weight between the two more evenly. So a nice feature to have is something like the weight distribution hitch from Pro Series. The way this one typically works is this is mounted onto the rails on the trailer. So it'll be mounted on somewhere like here in place, and then you would pull this down. The chain will come on and will hook on underneath here, and then you'll have a bar. The chain comes on, hooks up underneath here. We have the bar, you lift it up with the chain in place, you put a pin through, and that locks the assembly in place. The chain is attached to the bar first, so that you put the bar in, chain on. This is mounted to the rail, and we get this lever onto it, pull it up, comes over center, pin goes through, and there your weight distribution is coming down through the chains. You can adjust the tension by simply putting it onto a different link within the chain, and that's how this particular hitch works as a weight distribution hitch. So you can see very little to do on the trailer. On the back end here, drawbar. So this extension bar here will fit through the hitch of your trailer, and then slots in here. And this is why it's very important for us to know the hitch height. So from the bottom of the receiver to the ground, so that we can see which way this needs to be set up to accommodate your vehicle. So hitch height is very important if you're getting one of these and you want us to have this set up for you. So that is the Pro Series. Lots of information about this online. Quickly jump over now to the E2, which is the trademark name for this E2 hitch. So it's E2 by Fastway, or the Fastway E2 hitch. This one is different. This hitch does both load balancing or load equalization and sway control at the same time. So this is probably the most popular hitch that we sell. These pieces here will attach around the frame, just like on the last one. You can see in this picture here. So they will attach around the frame. Okay, so they attach around the frame. Your bars, always with the picture up. So your bars slide in here. And it really is kind of, and that comes down. That simple. The bars come in, and then to get the bars in place, they give you a lever arm. So you would then take your lever arm, get the bar pretty much in place. You'll take the lever arm, and then we'll lever this up into position. And then there's a fitting that slides down here, comes over the top of this. You can see it here, and that locks it in place. And then that gives you some friction control for anti-sway. This one comes with the ball, and all escape trailer will need a 2-inch ball. This one comes with that ball, which we will put in and torque up for you. So in this configuration, you can see this assembly here, this cast assembly, including the bar at the back, can be removed from your vehicle. So it's a very simple slide in. So we have people asking us, do they need to bring torque wrenches and different things if they're buying the E2 Fastway from us and they're having the trailer delivered, or they're collecting it from Sumas? And the answer is no. You simply slide this assembly into the back of your vehicle, then you can attach the arms, and then you would lever them up onto the mounts that we attach to the trailer for you. We attach these to the trailer for you. Now, something we get a lot of questions about this one. This is the standard length that comes with the E2, the Fastway E2. Typically, we don't know what your hitch height is until we don't know until you tell us. And it's something it seems to come late in the process after people decide they want to have this hitch. So if your hitch is the wrong height for this attachment, then you will need the longer attachment to come on. Okay, and this longer attachment is different, is not included in this assembly here. So we buy this entire assembly. This is what it comes like, and then we have to buy this separately. So if your hitch height is not sufficient or insufficient, you'll need to buy one of these as well. Okay, so that kind of explains what's going on with this guy. Now, I might leave that in there because this is the front of the trailer.
Let's also that on a trailer very quickly, so you can see that's what we're talking about.
Okay, this is the front of the trailer. This latching mechanism is actually quite simple. It's up and forwards, and then lock and pin through. Okay, and that's where you need to be. Now, underneath, you can see there's a plate here, and this plate slides back and forwards. And what this plate is doing is it's catching the ball. Now, the ball needs to be all the way in. If the ball's all the way in, it'll slide underneath the ball and lock in place, and then it's in place, and you're properly hitched and it will not come out, especially if you have your pin through here. What does happen sometimes with people is they get the ball kind of in, but not all the way in, and they'll push this closed, and this will happen, and it's not in place. Right? That's why it's really important to get on the jack on the front of the trailer, and you'll pull the trailer up. But you might not be able to see this. You lift the trailer up, okay? And if the trailer is coming away from this, then you're obviously not in. So that's your surefire way, is to lift the trailer up if you're in any doubt whether this is engaged or not. So, example here. Whoops, it's really tricky to do. Not like this. And then captured. Okay. Okay. All right. So that's pretty quick explanation of the different types of hitches we provide and what they do. All right. That's good. We'll take that and we'll highlight, reel that out, and then we'll be able to send it out to people afterwards. Okay. Moving on now to the 17B and the 17A. Obviously, the 17 is the smallest unit that we provide at Escape. It is a single axle unit, and I guess we'll just work our way around like we normally do. We're going to do a video where we kind of highlight, reel out the deployment of a manual awning and a power awning, but this one at the moment has a manual awning. Okay, so moving forwards, we'll do a quick scan around the trailer, and then we'll jump inside. So, something I wanted to mention. This is our, thank you, Elaine. This is our new cover of our manual. Every trailer gets a manual, and they're available online. So even if you're a prospective owner, or you're an owner and you're just waiting on your trailer to arrive and you haven't had the manual yet, you can get this online under existing owners, resources, and then current owners, I think I've called it. This manual's good. This is a new front cover for it, but all the same content on the inside. It's a really well done manual. I didn't do it, it was done, I guess Reese probably put it together. So it's a really thoughtful, well written, easy to understand manual that he's put together. This should be your go-to. This should be your trailer Bible, is this manual, because for the most part, when you call us and you have any issues, we will just go to the manual and just read it out to you. So this is key. Manual. Okay, let's work our way around this one, Harrison. So, little unit, but still has all the same features and and things that the bigger units have got. So we'll start on this side and work our way around. Not much on this side of the trailer. So obviously this is our fridge intake and our fridge vent on the 17. This is the primary difference between the 17s and the 21s and the fifth wheels and the 19s. The vent is here and the fridge is on this side, whereas in all the other trailers the fridge is on the other side and the vent will be on the roof. Obviously, if we're packing up, we'll want to withdraw the awning. So the manual awning here is pulled back. The windows are closed before we pull the awning back, especially if you have frameless windows. Frameless windows are top hinge. They're going to open at the bottom. You pull this back with too much force, and this is open. Then you can crack this window, and it'll just shatter on you. So windows closed. Pull this closed. Let's walk around the back. Just be careful of that edge, Harrison. Okay, coming around the back, not too much to talk about on this one. And then we get to this
lost it. We're reconnecting. We've reconnected. There we go.
And we come to this side, and this is where it gets a little bit more interesting. This trailer has got the removable power cord on it. Sorry. It's got the power cord, not the removable power cord. So this is the standard power cord with the plastic pieces on the inside. You would disconnect this. This is your plug adapter. So I would take this all off, push it back in, and close it over. And just have it that way when you're deployed. Here's your water fills. You have your city water in here. Very important that this cone mesh filter is pointing outwards like this, because it has a one-way check valve behind it, and the one-way check valve is ensuring the water goes in but water doesn't come back out. If you put this in backwards, it's going to work the other way. As soon as you turn your water pump on, it's going to want to eject water out of this outlet. This is your hose fill, so you can shove your hose straight in there and fill up your tank from there. We can also have a pressure reducer on these hoses. You would put it on the other end where you connect up to whatever your connection is, and that will protect your hose. Water heater, so in our tank, and we'll show this when we go inside the trailer as well. This is our water heater. This is a two-way water heater, which means it can heat on both electric and gas, and do them both at the same time to improve your reheat time and refill time. If from a gas perspective, it's very simple. It lights up the pilot light and off it goes. If you're using it on electric, specifically on electric, you need to ensure you have water in your tank. The way to check you have water in your tank is with this relief valve here. So you can pop this relief valve very gently. I'm not going to do it because I have no idea if there is water in there. Sometimes we have. So you would pull this and you can see some water dribbling out. If you have water dribbling out of here, you have sufficient water in place for your heater. And the on-off switch is down here. Now we'll talk a little bit more about this system and the anode that we have in it, which is also the drain point of this water heater, when we get into the level 2 or level 3 detailed sort of maintenance reviews on these trailers. But at this time, nobody should be worried about the maintenance of this. Okay, moving across. The 17 has the Rangehood on the opposite side to all the other trailers. So when we're traveling, we'll want to close this off, and when we're at the campsite and we want to deploy the unit or to set up, we'll open it up and then we can actually vent air. So if your fan is going and it's not sucking, then more than likely this is still closed. So you need to open it up and then close it up before you travel. This is your propane heater vent. This will get hot when the propane heater is running. We'll talk more about this when we get into the maintenance details, and talk about things like sail switches, which are very popular across the forum. Down the bottom, on the 17B, of course, we've got the dump on both sides, as with all the other trailers. Black and grey water. So we would connect our hose, we would pull the black, we would flush the black tank out. Once that's finished, then we would close it off and pull the grey, flush the grey out to clean the sewer hose, and then put the sewer hose away in the sewer tube holder, or the sewer hose tube down on the rear of the trailer. Good. Okay, keep moving. 17B has a bathroom, and this has the optional window in place. I want to make sure these windows are all closed. Working our way around the front. Propane. Trailers come with two 20-pound propane tanks. In these propane tanks we have a automatic switchover valve in place here. This knob here is really an indicator, which is measured up here, for whether this tank has got fuel or not. So if I flip it over to this side and it goes green, that means this tank is full. It will automatically switch over to this tank when this tank runs out. If I want to see how much is in this tank, I flip this over, and then I can see how much is in this tank. So that's what that does. Okay, depending on your state, you may want to close these off if you're traveling. So some states allow you to use propane, and other states do not. Okay, working our way back around here. This is obviously this is single wheel on this trailer. 50 psi is the recommendation, or actually 50 psi is what we expect this trailer tire pressure to be. So you would check that 50 psi, and of course you will have pulled up all the landing gear on the trailer as well from underneath. Now we have that on other videos. Moving our way through. Okay, as we walk into the trailer, in this one we have our fire extinguisher in place, and then a couple of switches. The switch on the inboard side is the same as it is for all the other trailers. It controls the lights right down the middle of the trailer, and the switch outboard controls the porch light on the exterior. Turn that on and off. Okay, so this is the one this is all the interior central lights. So a quick chat about lights. If you haven't seen any of our other videos, lights are on a switch. You have two LEDs on all of the center lights. You can turn them off from here as well as from the main switch at the door, or we can have a single light. So if you switch that switch off there, Harrison, it'll switch it off, and then of course it's on single light, so it comes back on, two, and then two lights. Excellent, very good. And that's the same down the side. The lights that you have on the sides are manually operated, so they're not controlled from a main switch that we have at the door.
That's just like that one.
Yeah, stays on. Excellent. So that's kind of how your lights work. Slightly different organization in this trailer as you work your way through. This is the fridge. So we won't talk. We'll do it here. We've done this a few times now. So this is our fridge. In our fridge we've got you see it coming on now. So it's moving into auto, and then it's going to try and go to gas, right? So we're in auto now. Oh, it's okay. It's come on to AC. Default, because it's plugged in, it's going to go to AC. Propane is the gas. We try not to talk about DC. DC, I like to refer to it as a dead car. So we stay away from DC. Typically stay on AC and gas. And the reason we stay away from DC is going to come from your batteries, which means it's going to draw your batteries down, and this will draw your batteries down very, very quickly. You definitely do not want to be on DC when you're driving your car with your trailer attached, for fear that you stop somewhere, and if you're in somewhere for an hour or 2 hours, it'll not only draw down the DC from your trailer, but it'll also draw down from your car, assuming it's connected, of course. Auto will allow you to run between AC and gas. In terms of temperature control, we would say set the temperature at 3. It's not going to cool any faster if it's at 5. It will just eventually get colder if it's at 5. So if the fridge is warm, you'd put it on 3, and that'll get it to cool down. Fridge is very simple. Not much else to discuss about the fridge. This one has a 2-burner cooktop in place. It's just like any gas appliance you've operated in the past. Turn the gas on. It's got a little igniter there. So ignites, gas on, ignites, and this brings up your 2-burner cooktop. Vent fan. So we have on and off. Nice and simple. Okay, I close this over. We've been through this a few times now. This is where your monitor panel is located. So we can turn on our water heater from here, and we can turn on the water pump from here. Water heater we can turn on and leave on. The water pump, we generally say use that as a sort of on demand. So when you need water, turn on the pump. And the reason for that is the pump will cycle itself, you know, every couple of hours or so, and so it'll be spinning when you're trying to sleep at night time and you won't know what's going on. So best to just get in the habit of turning it off and turning it on whenever you need it. Battery, fresh water, black water, and grey water. These are the levels from empty to full. So the battery is full because it's been charging from AC. Our fresh water is empty, our black water is empty, and our grey water is also empty. So this is your readout for what's in your tanks and your pump and your water controls. Nothing much to talk about in the sink area.
The thing that we didn't mention is put everything away
before
you drive away.
Put everything away before you drive away. This is one unit that does not have an air conditioning. So this is a good thing for people to see. If you don't have air conditioning, you just get a vent. Okay, and the vent is again operable by a knob over there. It will close the vent. Right, so you can have a unit without AC. If you get AC, then you have a digital controller. If you do not get AC, you have an analog controller. Okay, let's come around and have a look at that analog. This is the first trailer where we have not had AC in it. So maybe you better sit there. Okay, so this is your analog controller, which really goes to your propane heater. So you can set the temperature. You can set the temperature of it from here, basically. So we can set the temperature, and it's just like any sort of mercury-based sort of trip switch in there or coil switch to turn on the heater. So there's your heater control on there. If we were to put AC into this unit now, this would stay, and then the AC would be controlled manually from the AC unit itself, so it would not have a digital control unit. Okay, very good. All right, what do we have? What else do we have in this trailer, Harrison? So, yeah, let's start on this side. Water pump and filter. This is your tank, hot water tank. Okay, and then this is your fuse panel. Is this guy? This guy is a fuse panel. Okay, there's the fuse panel inside there with all the switches, and most importantly, the battery disconnect. It's a new style battery disconnect that we've been doing. So here's our battery disconnect, which is off. If I turn it on, it'll shut off all the power inside the trailer, so it'll disconnect the battery from the from all the surfaces inside the trailer.
And this is actually the first time that people get to see where the power cord kind of goes.
Yeah, in this trailer.
In this trailer, yeah.
Right, in this trailer,
if you have that,
wraps up in there for sure. Good idea. Good call there, Harrison. This is our exit window. All trailers have one, and simply a pull and push and lock. Bring that one in, or take it around like that. The window opens quite far. If you have frameless windows like this one, it's a knob, so it's either this or it's a rotary dial on there, and we can push it out
independently
or pull them in. Of course, it's a split window. When you have the framed windows or frameless windows, you have a split window on the rear.
But you'd be closing your windows up if you were leaving the campsite.
And if you're leaving the campsite, you close all those windows up. In the 17, propane detector is down here. Okay. And if you had an inverter, if you had solar system and an inverter, which this one does not have, it would be in this side. Oh, and you know the other thing we forgot to point out, I mean, I think we've done it on the live video tours, but for anyone who's watching this who hasn't seen the live video tours, this is an oak trailer. This is not maple. Bathroom. Work our way into the bathroom. See, it's quite simple. There isn't that much in here, right? It's not complex. So we'll close this off. So this is just a strainer. Okay, so we can turn the strainer back in and it will lock down, and then that stops anything else coming back up. This is a hand flush toilet around the back, so you would flush it from around the back. We haven't talked about this before. We've had foot flushes in most of the other ones. So this is a hand flush toilet back there. Did you hear that? Okay, and then up on the roof we have our vent fan. So up is open, and there's a switch. Turns on the fan. Man, we did the AC in this unit.
I know.
Today it is cooking in here. Okay, turn this off, and then to close the vent, I pull down. Now the vent is closed, and it's a nice visible indicator that the vent is closed. We would close off the window, make sure the water is off, and everything's away. And that is it for the bathroom. Not much else to do in there. Okay, nothing really to talk about back here, Harrison. It's just the tank. Mostly just the tank that's under there. That's pretty much it. Okay, and a shut-off valve for the water to the toilet. I think that's it. Dustin, is there anything you want us to point out or show to anybody? It's fairly quick to get through to 17.
There's obviously a bit of delay, of
Yeah,
course,
sure.
right? Maybe we can go outside the trailer just while we're here.
Yeah.
A lot cooler out here. I think let's go with the OR room.
So we do the OR room? Okay.
If you have anything else, we can come back.
Yeah, that trailer didn't have any hatches on it. It didn't have any exterior showers.
But you can always go back to the videos that we've done before if you're curious about those kind of things.
With the exception of the jack TV antenna, covered off pretty much all the systems that we have in the trailers. All right, we'll quickly go through the solar system and the electrical system. Arg, I should have bypass mode. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I think they're using the microwave in here.
Oh, is that what it is?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so for those of you who have a trailer and purchase electrical management system with the surge protector, there is a 3-minute delay from when you plug it in your campsite. When you plug it in at the campsite, let's pretend that's plugged in at the campsite, there's a 3-minute delay before we will see this switch on, typically. So we're not quite there yet. So it's telling me it's easier. As soon as the 3 minutes are up, the light's going to come on because it's actually going to push power through. So it looks like everything's good. The reason this is nice to have, the surge protector protects your electrical equipment inside your trailer from any dirty power or spikes coming through. The other part of it, of course, is if you pull into a campsite and you plug in, and then this errors up with E1 reverse polarity, it means they've kind of got their wires reversed somewhere in the campsite or at that particular site that you're at, and this will not work unless you go into bypass mode. So typically you would like to move site at that point and get back to where you're E0 normal. So the error codes are on here. It's very easy to read and to use. If you're using a generator, you have this system, you're using a generator, we would have to, then you can go from normal into bypass. So you bypass the electrical management system, it's like not having one, and then you can use a generator. And generators have floating ground, that's why this won't allow it. This wants to see a ground because it wants to protect the system. Okay, let's talk about solar. Solar panel, 190 watt. Most of our trailers can have 2 of these on them. So 190 watt solar panel will deliver about 9.3 amps of current. That current flows from the panel into the solar controller, and then from the solar controller down to the batteries, and that's it. It doesn't go anywhere else. So solar panels only charge the batteries. They do not power anything inside your trailer. Solar panels through the controller down to the batteries. The solar controller is where you can check the state of your batteries. The charge is in the batteries, and the charge is going into your batteries as well. And
that's
all
3 minutes
available.
there. So you can see
that's on.
light is now on.
Yeah.
Sorry, Carl.
So we can see the voltage, and then we can see the current that's going in. Of course, there isn't any into our amp hours. So solar controller determines what's going into the battery. These solar controllers are now Bluetooth, so we can hook up the Bluetooth app to the phone, and then we can always see the state of our batteries from our phone. That's a very nice nice development that GoPower have created. All right, let's pretend we want to use the power from our batteries as 120 volts. So I want to put the blender on, or I want to do something that needs 120 volt power, and I'm boondocking, so I don't have a 120 volt connection from the campsite. That's where you would need an inverter. An inverter's only job is to take DC, convert it to AC, which is what you use inside your house. So take the AC power, it'll convert it to AC, and it'll push AC out to the outlet or the outlets. So it'll come with a single outlet as standard, and if you go with, hey, just wire up all my outlets, which is a smart choice if you're going to spend the money on the inverter anyway, then you'll probably throw in the transfer switch and the surge protector, and you would have a little sub panel which would then distribute that power to all of your plugs. Okay, so everything ends up basically coming through this panel, and depending on whether you have an inverter or not, there'll be an extra little panel. Disconnect switch, we kind of talked about this earlier. So from the batteries, we have a disconnect switch. This is the old style for any people who have an older trailer. This is the one I started putting in 2019. This is the new one, the new battery disconnect, which is a little bit more robust than this guy. And if I disconnect here, if I throw this to the on position, which is turning it, essentially disconnecting the battery from all the services inside the trailer, including the likes of the propane detector. And the reason you want to do that is the propane detector is parasitic, so it will continue to be powered and draw down your batteries over time. So if you're going, if you have a period of time, or even if you just want to, from a good practice perspective, when not in use, throw the battery disconnect, and then there's no power going into your trailer. However, the battery will still charge. So if you have a solar system, it will still charge the battery for you. Okay, that's pretty much that system. We've done this system, 6-7 times. Now, we talked about the water heater. I'll get into that in more detail when we do the checklist. Your drive away checklist. Okay, so this does come with every trailer. We've had people asking. Comes with every trailer, and it's a really good sort of reference point to go through and just do all the inside and outside checks. And I think pretty much all of these we went through. We did not go through the rock shields down and locked on the front of the trailer. We've done it on others, but not on this one. So it's a really good check off all the way through. This comes with your trailer, and what we're going to do is we're now going to incorporate this onto the back of the front page on the owner's manual, so that you kind of have your owner's manual, you have your driveway checklist. And if there's any issues, you can go into your owner's manual. So that's a good little tool. I think we talked about everything else in the trailer. I would say refer back to some of the other videos that we've done to talk about the digital controller, which is a capacitive controller. You just touch it very gently and it will turn it on, and then you can go through the different modes of the fan and then change your temperature. Again, if you have air conditioning, you will have the digital controller. You will not have the analog, and the digital will also control, as you can see, the furnace. Okay, we talked about the monitor panel. Yeah, we talked about the monitor panel. And we didn't talk about the oven. So in general, if you have an oven, it works exactly the same as a 2-burner cooktop. Of course, but if you have an oven, you need to know that you have to manually light the pilot inside the oven if you're going to use the oven. It's not lit from a spark igniter. here. Pretty simple. Okay. George, I'm sure you're probably not watching, but George was asking me about the LED light on the trailer underneath the awning. So there's the option for an LED light, and he was asking me, this is for Dustin, George was asking, how does he configure how to turn it on or turn it off? So of course, if you've got the power awning, it's on the controller, and it's actually the up and down switch in the very bottom of the controller.
Well, I think it's left
So
or right.
left and right arrows on it, right? So that would turn the brightness up and down, or eventually turn it off. And if he doesn't have that and he has a manual awning, then there is a little controller, a small button controller that you can push to turn that on and off. But we'll show that again when we go back to the 19, probably on the next time round. So that's all of this done. We talked about the fridge, which is exactly the same fridge as in the 17 that we have out in the showroom, and that's that done. Okay, and Dave, perfect timing.
Hello.
Excellent. We have Dustin's on. Dustin's back. Dustin's feeling very sick, so I'm glad he's feeling a little bit better. I know he's not 100% at the moment, but really appreciate him coming on here to answer questions for everybody and supporting us. It's a super busy time. Yeah, that's the problem. They deliver. They pretty much come Thursday, Friday to pick these things up. Right. So always end of the week thing.
2 days.
Yeah, it's nuts.
Yeah.
It'll be over soon.
Yeah.
But we talked through these today. Yeah, more from what they are and how they operate.
Okay.
And how to operate them, load them up. I talked about pulling the bars on and off on that one, and we talked about the hitch part on the front of the trailer, that part. So they would show it upside down and
Perfect. So you know how to
get
it in there.
You see a lot of people. That's what people just can't seem to get a head around the latch.
Right. So it just has to be the right amount of weight on there, just as the weight is going onto the truck or the tow vehicle is when you push it forward.
Yeah.
A lot of people want to put a bar on there. They want to pry it, or they're trying to get it down. They're hitting it.
Right.
All you're doing is wrecking it. So another thing that some of the customers have an issue with is when they're backing into. When they're backing into a campsite, they backed in, the weight of the trailer's on it, so you're pushed forward like that.
Right.
You'll never get this up. Right. So you basically got to put the vehicle in neutral, release that tension, so there's nothing there, and now you can start jacking up.
Yeah.
Because of these teeth on the bottom, you're either, if the ball's pushing against this or pushing against this, you'll never release it.
Yeah.
If you never pry on it, never bang it down. There's an issue. You got back pressure, pull pressure,
right?
Or you just don't have enough weight.
Is that the simplest way to say it? If you have to put more than gentle hand pressure on this, then you've either got too much weight going that way, too much load going that way, or what was the other one?
Well,
so it's either jammed this way or it's jammed this way.
That's right.
Yeah.
And or if you put the whole weight of the trailer on this and then try and move it forward,
it won't move either, right? So then it's pushed on sort of like this, and you can't operate it because
if you have all the weight trailer, now you have all the weight of the trailer on here.
Yeah.
So you're physically trying
you're trying to move the whole trailer with that little lever arm, and that ain't gonna work.
That's why you see some people, they'll push on their car a bit and it releases that pressure.
Yeah.
So never have to force it.
So I think that's probably if there's a key message, it's if you're having to force this, then something's wrong. And it's not that there's something wrong with your trailer, it's that you've either got too much load pulling the vehicle away from the trailer, or trailer pushing into the vehicle, or too much weight down on it. So it's all to do with the load that you've got, which is binding this up inside here in some way.
Also, with the E2, you want to make sure the bars come off first.
Right.
Had a couple customers in the past, they're like, my trailer hitch will not come off, but they still have the bars.
So the bars on, so you still have all that. So that comes back to your whole thing of, but you got a whole lot of load up on there, and you can't.
You can't. It's holding this
jammed
against there, so just follow the steps in the process.
Yeah, and you'll be fine. We'll do a little bit more on this when we get some time here over the next little bit. We'll do some more on this one with an actual vehicle. But I think this gives people a good primer, and Harrison's going to take this highlight reel and stitch it out into something else.
Excellent.
All right, so we'll go and see. I doubt there's going to be any questions, but
Where are we going?
Want to sit down for a couple of seconds?
Oh, yeah.
All right. Okay, H. There you go. Now, I guess Dustin's going to answer all these, so
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
isn't much. I mean,
Dustin's doing a great job.
I can just
in the
leave
chat
now.
today. Yeah.
we're pretty much
Dustin's doing a great job in the chat today, actually.
there. So
Got quite a few people on today.
I don't know how today is.
11. 11 it says
Yeah.
so far.
No, it's still really, really valuable to do all of this because,
Well, I think the hitch thing is one of the most important
yeah,
questions that we get with deliveries because they haven't been here for an orientation. So it's, you know, a lot of people are used to those other couplers that go down, right? Where this one kind of comes up and slides back.
right. How do I? Oh, I have to refresh the page, Harrison, don't I? How am I doing for time? We're almost there.
Yeah, so I guess we'll open it up for questions now. If anyone have any other questions they'd like answered. Could be about the 17 or the hitches or, you know, escape in general.
So I don't have a.
Need some tech support here.
I just don't have a connection.
Might do.
You guys did the 17, didn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's pretty quick to get through the 17. That one,
yeah.
that one doesn't have very much. Doesn't have the air conditioning. Doesn't have power awning. Doesn't,
Right.
you know, in so much as options.
Right.
So it's
a good little
the standard
off-grid.
The standard unit is actually really simple to operate.
That's right.
There isn't that much in it.
No, and most of the stuff on all the trailers is
Yeah.
pretty universal
Yeah, so
with the different sizes.
I guess the main thing for new people is don't be scared.
No.
Just get educated.
That's right. I mean, all the manuals, everything in here except the air conditioner, come with the trailer,
Yeah.
with the escape owner's manual too. So there's good camping reading
Yeah.
there when you're beside the fire.
Yeah. The voice is echoing on the live, but the chat is working fine.
Okay,
I don't know why it'd
perfect.
be echoing.
Perfect. Good. All right, guys. Listen, if there's any questions here for me and Dave, we'll answer them. Otherwise, we're going to we're probably going to close this one off. We have lots of other ones, so we've done every trailer now in our lineup.
All on
In
YouTube.
terms of lime stream orientation, and they all are all up on YouTube. So we're looking for content that we can bring to you. So please send us your feedback. There's comment forms on there. We haven't been getting that many recently, but we keep coming up with ideas. Send us your comments, send us your feedback, and we'll essentially develop these live streams and develop them for you, for what you want to see. Okay, that's us, Dave.
That's it.
So that's a goodbye from.
That was a hard shift for me.
Yeah, it was
Thanks
tough.
for inviting me.
I got to give you something at the end of the day.
That's right. Something to look forward to.
That's nice.
All right, everybody.
All right. So thank you very much, everybody. Thank you from Dave. Thank you from me, from Harrison. Escape trailer built just for you.